Hello everyone, welcome to my first YouTube video. You've been asking for this, so here it is. As you might know from my tweets or Flickr or blog, I like to create my own stencils. I know I'm not the only one who does this, but some of you keep asking me about my stencils, so I'll tell you a little bit more about them. I started with this obsession or addiction, or however you may call it, only a couple of years ago when I discovered art journaling. And the reason for starting to create my own stencils was that some art supplies are really difficult to get here where I live, so I just created my own. These were the first ones. These are just holes punched into a sheet of plastic, and this is just paper. There were letters printed on a piece of paper. These were basic race stickers that I just traced with a regular craft knife, and some of these were a little more complicated, like this one, or these letters that I just printed in a line and spent several hours cutting them. Back in those days I was happy with my stencils. I didn't need more, but then the sprays arrived in my country and suddenly you needed bigger stencils, better stencils, more intricate ones. So I started to create these bigger ones. These are cut from a sheet of acetate, which you can get in office supplies. What I do is I create a pattern in my computer like this. I see those patterns everywhere. I go on the pavement, on people's clothes, everywhere. So I recreate those and print them. I try not to copy existing stencils, but sometimes you're inspired by something you see somewhere on somebody else's project and it might be a stencil. So it's just unintentional and subconscious because, you know, patterns are everywhere. So I just basically see a pattern and I print it on a piece of paper, attach it to the acetate sheet with a tape and start to cut with a knife, you know, just trace the outlines. Usually when I create a stencil I ask myself, is it cuttable? When I say no, well, maybe not, like this one, I just keep it hidden. If I say yes, it's cuttable, I cut it. This is actually the easiest part of the project because it's just computer graphics and I used to do this for a living, so it's just the easiest part to create the pattern and print it. So when I cut it, it looks like this. The first ones were easy simple patterns like these, because it's always easier to cut straight lines or curved lines rather than more complex ones. So these are just the simple ones like these. You can go on forever designing patterns like these. This is more intricate. This took forever to cut, just saying. This is just a normal pattern you see on various stencils. I really like this one. It's really awesome. And I'm proud of this leaf one. You know, these, and this one's actually quite nice when sprayed. So these were the first ones on acetate. Then I discovered more durable sheet. it's more thicker and you can cut. It lasts longer, the design lasts longer, because with these it just wears off. You can tear it very easily, you know, these little parts. So I started to do more intricate designs, like this one. You can see that with more intricate design there's room for error. I actually managed to cut through those lines, so this has to be fixed with a duct tape. This sheet is really thick, so when I trace the outlines I usually don't cut through, so I have to go over the lines I have on this piece of plastic once again. So sometimes I get frayed edges and I have to really work hard to make them smooth. You might not see it on the video, but sometimes the edges are really frayed. This is a nice pattern. This is actually a cool pattern. This is one of my latest. As you can see, the edges are a little bit frayed. You can see it quite well. Sometimes when I cut my stencils, I keep the paper cut out. See the stencil cut out to use on other projects as embellishment. Here's another one that I might use some other time. And there's another one. I like to create my own Celtic designs. So these are one of the first ones. These are the latest ones. They basically start like this before they are recreated in my computer. And some of the designs end up like these. Again, mistake. This is another yellow one, and this is these are the borders. This is my latest stencil. I designed it after a pendant I have, this little owl. I kind of like it, so there might be more realistic stencils in the future. The last stencil I wanted to show you is one that falls into the crazy category because it's very intricate and it took forever to cut. Some of you might have the original map stencil by Artist Seller. I liked it so much that I printed the map of London and I spent hours tracing the streets, the river, Hyde Park. Some people say I'm patient. I think that this, especially this thing, has got nothing to do with patience. I would say I'm stubborn, bordering on obstinate, but you know, it's up to you to decide. So that's about it. I hope you liked it, and if you have any questions, just write them in the comments section and I will get to answer them if I can. So bye bye.